Okay, Joey, we should very much be live for both YouTube and TikTok. Welcome back, Joey. We've missed you very, very much.
Thank you very much, mate. It's been quite a long time since we've sat and done one of the live streams, isn't it?
It has. Do you know what's funny? I make the thumbnails for these, and I think it might be near enough 20 days, 18 or 19 days. It's been a long old time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we very much missed you. And
Thank
I'm glad
you very
you're back.
much, mate. It's good to be back. It's good to actually now have the, well, do I want to say time on my hands? I mean, I'm always pretty busy, but definitely way more time on my hands to be able to make sure we're getting the content banged out for you guys off of the Joey and Josh channel, to be able to focus a little bit more on the Chelsea stuff than I was able to. And just generally to be able to chat to not just yourself, but the hardcore, the members who will be live exclusively for in about 40 minutes or so, and everyone else that has been showing love and support to the channel, which we're really, really grateful for.
Very much so, very much so. Do you want to explain to them, for the people that don't know what you've been up to? Do you want to just quickly say what you've been doing for the last 20 odd days?
Yes, I've been in prison.
Yeah, fair enough. We thought that was coming. What for this time?
No, I'm joking. I've been in hospital. I've had a bad back from carrying the Joey and Josh podcast. I'm joking.
It's true though. It's true. I'll embrace it. My back feels great.
No, I had a boxing fight, so I was fighting. Had a fight, won the fight. In my opinion, won every round, but still didn't stop me getting a shitload of stick. But what do we say about backlash, Josh?
Tell me.
To quote Eddie Hearn, the backlash makes me horny.
I don't want the audience thinking about that, Joey. I'm worried about that.
Clip where they asked Eddie Hearn about backlash for ticket sales, and he goes, "The backlash makes me horny."
Yeah. Well, you know, he's another one of my doppelgangers, Joey. I've got a very likable and very sort of knowable face by the sound of it.
Ricky clearly watched the fight because he said bro needed a break from all the showboating. I'm still going to pull off a few moves in this live stream.
Yeah, what is going to be your go-to move for this live stream?
Oh, fucking hell. Nothing that upsets people.
So funny, mate. So funny. Oh, it's so good to have all of these guys and girls back in the live stream. I did a live stream by myself, Joey. Don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see it. I didn't even know you were doing it.
That was for the members only, though. Yeah. That was for the members only.
How did it go?
It was great. We had a lovely chat with the members. They were asking very much about how you were getting on, how you were doing. It was, you know, probably 20% of the value of a show with you on it, mate. But you know,
you can't have it all in life.
It was all good. By the way, we haven't told these guys. We've just dropped a video. We've just dropped a video that is literally coming straight off the presses, something that has been made almost like basically today, pretty much, really, in terms of the editing. It is the brand new evidence about the Madeleine McCann disappearance and the potential prime suspect. Joey,
my God, there was a lot of evidence.
Are you convinced now that they've got it wrong from the start and that this guy is the one to be the main man?
Is that a question that really needs answering? Listen, my God, we used to speak about other countries and stuff that I won't go into detail with, and the lengths they used to go to push out propaganda, right? Now, I'm not being funny. I can only go on my own perception and how I sort of translate things when I find them. And for me, it was a propaganda piece. But I don't want to ruin too much of it because I think that despite it being very much off the cuff, like this, let's be honest with him, Josh, this wasn't an episode we did a great amount of prep for. Part of that comes into the fact that we've already done a lot of significant preparation on the case, on the suspect, but it wasn't an episode that we did a lot of prep for. I'm gonna counter that by saying I think it's probably one of our best ever episodes, and I think the viewership on it will reflect that once all said and done.
100%. And look, for George, who is, as you well know, a fully fledged member of the Hardcore, what we're not going to do in this live stream is sort of do any spoilers for that episode and actually go into the actual, the meat and potatoes of the actual video itself, because what we'll do is say this. The video is in response to a documentary that Channel 4 and The Sun have made together in collaboration, right? And what we do is we analyse that documentary and go through all of the new evidence that they present to us in granular detail. We literally go through every sort of like piece of evidence that they posit, every sort of key finding that they've shown us. And we actually say, is that new information? Is that something that we didn't otherwise know? And is that something that's actually going to impact any future court cases for their prime suspects? So if you do want to watch that and you haven't watched it yet, what do they need to do, Jerry? Tell us.
They need to become a member of the channel, or they need to have probably the best skills of patience and being able to wait known to human beings, because you're going to have to wait a whole nother 24 hours from now to be able to get.
From the moment that it went live, it was about 27 hours. So
and normally in the case of members, you get a lot more than that. It's just because we've been rushed off our feet because I had that fight. But it is up there now for members, and obviously for the general public, it will be going up tomorrow. I'm just going to read out a few bits from the chat because we have got over 130 of you guys in here right now, and it would mean the world to us if you could smash a like on it. Get in the chat. Shout out to Jeffrey Tigger, I believe that is. Paul Taylor said, you're going on holiday with True Geordie and Eddie Hall. Where would you go to? Oh, where would I go to? Somewhere that likes blokes that are smaller than the two guys he's with.
You would just go to Tenerife, because that's where you're going every other
time.
I'd
go to Tenerife. I'd go to Tenerife. Right, now that Madeline McCann's younger siblings are adults, do you think they'll ever throw their parents under the bus? They must have heard or become privy to things. That's a real interesting question.
I've never thought about that, Joey. I've never thought about what the young kids are still up to. How old are they now? They must be
18-ish.
Yeah, there must be something like that.
And twins, yeah.
Yeah. There must be something like that.
No, I don't think they would throw their parents under the bus. That's insinuating that they know anything or suspect anything about their parents. I would love to know, from a sort of morbid curiosity standpoint, I would love to know their thoughts on it, because obviously, they've gone through school, things like that. I was a bit of a dickhead in school. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had a very loose tongue, and if I had been at school with them with the sort of emotional immaturity that I had at that age, I would have probably said, everyone thinks your parents killed your sister, don't you? Like, do you know what I mean? And it's bad. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to get into the mind of a school kid, and I was a school kid, and that was the sort of thing I would have said back then. I understand now as an adult, it's wrong to say stuff like that, but this is what I'm saying. So I'd love to know their experiences and their sort of outlook on it.
Yeah, 100%. Before we go into anything else, mate, we've just got a new member. Josh Roberts has become a fully fledged member of the Hardcore. We appreciate you very much. Thank you very much for joining. If anyone wants to join themselves, there is a link in the description. You can find it very, very easily there. And that is how you go and join and become a member. You get the video straight away. And not only that, you get a live stream straight after that. Thank you very, very much, Josh.
I've got a guy called Ricky in the chat who has said that something to do with me not being a good fighter, and I have so much potential but flopped it. I'm 31 this year, mate. Potential is what you say about someone who's like 18. And I don't know whether winning 5 out of 5 rounds against the former 5-time world champion and earning tens of thousands of pounds in the meantime is flopping it. But thank you very much, Ricky. Much love, mate.
He has sent a lovely comment later on down the line, Jerry, actually. He said, I do love this topic. You both speak so well on it and flow well together. So Ricky is actually a fan, to be honest.
Listen, people need to start talking about the fight. I don't give a fuck about the fight. I don't give a fuck about boxing. I box for financial security. Couldn't care less. Job done with that one. That all right, Josh?
Yeah. Thanks for clarifying that. Thank you for clarifying that. Any other comments? Any other question marks you want to see there in the chat that you want to come back to? I want to go on to a comment that I've just seen on TikTok set from Tills saying, "Josh, you look bloody gorgeous, mate." Thank you.
You do look bloody gorgeous. You do. What a man. What a man. Okay, yeah, I've got one from. I can't really read the screen name, but it says, "My mum cut my hair into a bob like Madeline McCann, then took me to Portugal. I think she was sick of me, lol. My dad got shots to security. This was 2007.
We've heard about dark tourism, and now we've heard about, role-playing missing children. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, your mum cut your hair. I get it. I get your grievance with that. But she could have left you to go for tapas for 5 hours while drinking sort of 12 to 14 bottles of wine. So your mum's not that bad. Your mum's not that bad. A haircut. That. What's your worst ever haircut, Josh?
I remember when I had not a skinhead, but probably like a 3 all over on the top, and I cried. I cried after I had the haircut done, mate.
Really?
Back in the day, the hair it had to be long, and if it wasn't long, it was bad times, mate. Very bad times.
We've had Sean, I believe, Sion, ask, you should cover the April Jones case. Now, remind me, is April Jones the girl in Wales that was killed by stepbrother or something like that? If it is, then yeah, I vaguely know about that case. But yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like, there are so many cases that we've already covered, and so many cases that, like anything, you always need to look into the case to get the specifics and to be able to add more than we could add if we were just discussing it like this on a live stream off the cuff. But there are so many cases that we know specific details about, that we know a lot about without even looking into, but we've just not got round to covering them yet. But we will. And this is the thing. If there's anyone here who's constantly been asking for a case to be covered, without revealing the next case is one that I would say at least once in every chat we've been asked to cover this this next case, haven't we, Josh?
Absolutely. And do you know what, mate? More than anything, at the moment, I screenshot all of these recommendations, even if they are only ever mentioned just once, right? And this is what I would say to everyone watching. If you do want a case covered, feel free to carry on commenting it. The reason why I say that is we put it all in a list. We remember all of those videos. And then when it comes around to it and we haven't got a topic that we want to especially cover at any one point, we'll go back to the list and we'll run through the topics that we want to cover there. Remember also, if you aren't yet a member of the Reddit, which is r/Joey and Josh, very easy to get access to, I'd very much recommend that going to there, because again, you can recommend cases there and actually chat with other channel subscribers, members, lots of different people there, and actually have a bit of a backwards and forward about it. And then basically the ones that have the most coverage there, we will cover probably more readily than just random, mentions here and there. So I definitely get on the Reddit. I think that's going to be a really good resource for all of us.
Does Dan Mort know me on a personal level then?
What's going on here? You can tell Joey was a proper hyper kid at school until someone passed him a joint. To be honest with you, even with a joint, you're still pretty excitable, I'd say.
Don't know what you're going on about, mate. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Shall we quickly talk about the Christian Bruckner documentary? And we're kind of treading a fine line here, because we obviously don't want to give away too much that's in the documentary. Now, we're not going to give away the sort of shocking new evidence that has come to light from this documentary, or that Channel 4 claim has come to light. Little spoiler. Maybe we might be sort of myth busting in this latest episode. But let's speak about the evidence that we already knew about Christian Bruckner. And I do use the word evidence loosely, but one thing that we know and that can't really be denied at this moment in time is that Christian Bruckner was in the area, the Praia da Luz area, around the time of Madeleine McCann's disappearance. That's something we already knew, didn't we?
Yep. There's phone records, pings off of phone masts. It shows him within the 1 kilometre area. But to be fair, mate, we also knew that he lived in that area anyway. So, yeah, wouldn't say that was especially new information.
Now, in the episode in question that's available for members now, that will be available for the general public tomorrow, we do discuss the rate of sexual offenders that live in Portugal at any one time. We discuss it in comparison to the population of Praia da Luz. We also speak about crime rates in Portugal. And we, I suppose, were... And I can give this as a little spoiler because it doesn't give too much away, but I think we were both surprised when we saw via percentage splits that those sort of offences, I want to be careful with what I can and can't say here, but you lot can join the dots. Those sort of offences against children are the second most reported crime in Portugal. Doesn't necessarily mean they're the second most committed crime, because there will be a lot of crimes that are committed that aren't reported, shoplifting, stuff like that. But they absolutely blow shoplifting out the water, just to give you an indication on how high the reports of that crime is. So my general feeling walking into the documentary, which I watched with an open mind, by the way, my general feeling is you need to do more than just present the evidence that this man was a nonce in the local area.
Yeah.
That was my general feeling on it. And that makes up a large part of how I feel about this documentary and why I labelled it earlier on as borderline propaganda.
This is the thing, though. Like, I didn't know this, but there was another fairly recent one on ITV. One of the channel members mentioned that as well, right? And also, right, if you do want some homework, I suggest you do watch the Channel 4 documentary before watching our video. It would be very useful to do so. But the fact is that this story is covered over and over again, and we as the public know quite a lot now. This isn't something that's a lot of new information coming out, every single day. The facts are the facts, and they sort of are renewed every couple of months or 6 months or so. But nothing really changes beyond that. But this is the thing about this documentary, Joey. It was sold in a way where new information was being presented to us. So we were very interested to watch it and therefore discuss it on the channel. And I think, what we should do is leave it there, really. Let the guys and girls watching see the video and see our reaction firsthand, because it's shocking. It's shocking, isn't it?
It's shocking in one way or another. It very much is shocking in one way or another. Libby Walkden has joined the hardcore. Thank you very much, Libby. We really appreciate that. Shout out to all of our female followers, that I should say, that makes up about 50%. To give a bit of context for those who don't know, a lot of you guys might have followed myself and Josh from our various channels, from bits we've done on my Chelsea channel, everything like that, the kickoff, so much more. But a lot of you won't know that we did a lot of podcasting and a lot of YouTube outside of the true crime genre, and for a long time before we ever did any true crime stuff. So the sort of categories that we were covering were very male dominated in terms of the subscriber count and the people that were interacting. So it's like a newfound, I don't want to use the word weird, but it is a bit of a weird thing for us to have so many females watching our videos. Like, when I went to Misfits the other week, before I got in the ring and completely stunk out the place, I was so surprised by the amount of women that were coming over to me and saying, I've been watching all your true crime. Not just women, everyone was saying to us, I've been watching your true crime stuff. I've been watching true crime stuff. People that I really didn't expect to get that off. So, yeah, it was weird. It was weird for me, but it's a very overwhelming feeling. I was so happy with it.
Mate, I had a really weird one, actually. The other day, I live in a big block of flats. I have loads of people that I know that are living in the flats themselves. I had someone that I've been speaking to for a very, very long time. This sort of like, normal, lady. And she comes up to me the other day. She says, "Oh, Josh, I've just seen you all over TikTok." And I was like, oh, okay, what sort of stuff was it? And she's like, oh, just all that Madeline McCann stuff. It's crazy, isn't it? I was like, okay, have you seen all the other videos? She's like, oh god, yeah, I followed you. See every single video you put up. It is crazy, mate. We're connected with people that I had no idea we would ever reach on this channel, I have to say.
This is the other thing as well, yeah. With I don't know what 90% of the time that people have ever like recognized me or whatever, it's always just like, oh, you're the Chelsea guy. You're the Chelsea guy. Sometimes it's you're the YouTube bloke, you're the TikTok bloke or whatever. With the true crime videos, where they're going so viral, I'm getting people specifically say to me like what the case is, so where they've seen me from. So I've literally had exactly what you just said, but I've had, you're the Madeline McCann bloke, ain't you? And I'm like, let's word it differently. But yeah, I mean, like, I know what you're getting.
You're getting some accusations thrown around, Joe.
Yeah. So
I'm sure you've had a lot of people say Jay Slater as well. By the way, everyone watching, and Joey, I don't know if you know this, Joey, that is very close, dangerously close to 100,000 views. Dangerously close.
I think we might have to revisit in some form or capacity. People, let us know in the chat whether you would like us to revisit the Jay Slater case, because obviously the inquest is going on at the minute. What's your general feeling on that inquest? I don't think that we're gonna find any more out from that inquest, but one of the things that has really become public knowledge is the Snapchats that have now officially been released. The problem with that, not for the general public, but for me and you, is we already knew about all of them, didn't we? We literally covered them in our video.
This is the thing, mate. And look, I haven't gone into incredible detail of the inquest, and I think we should to do this justice. But the thing is what I'm seeing constantly, not just in the documentaries, not just in the inquests, is that there's a lot of information that is the same. Now, the one thing that people keep telling me about, and I keep seeing everywhere online, is that all of people have used accomplices, but let's use the word friends, right? All of the friends have failed to show for this inquest. Is that not the most potent element of the story now? Like, what's happened to all of these people that were doing the media interviews, that wanted to be, court themselves and show themselves to be supportive of Jay now? Like, what's happened?
Well, Lucy's in Tenerife.
There you go.
I know that for fact.
Really? Why is she there? Do you know? Can't say. This is the thing. Joey Knight is the Tenerife man. I'm sure you know all of the information.
That's how I know she's there.
Go on.
That's how I know she's there. Because that's not like I ain't read that somewhere. I know she's there.
Yeah, very interesting. And then also they were doing more detail on the post-mortem, weren't they, of Jay? Did you see that?
Yeah, I find it weird that they can't hunt down Brad.
Yeah.
His mother was like quite vocal on TikTok and stuff. I don't know what's going on with that. They can't hunt down Brad, apparently. Brandon is the person in the case that needs speaking to the most out of anyone. Like, I find it mental that Brandon has never been looked into further by the police. Like, he's literally the connection between Jay and Ayub and Rocky. And obviously Ayub and Rocky have spoke to the police. Do you know what I mean? We spoke to Rocky, didn't we, after we released the podcast on it? I thought he was going to message me, giving me grief or something, but he literally just messaged and said, say it along the lines of like, I liked your podcast, mate. Nice to hear someone with common sense talking about it, or something like that. Which is, it's a weird one, because it's like, I mean, fair play to him. Do you know what I mean? Fair play to him, because it's not like we didn't, say that he needs further questioning and stuff like that. Like, it weren't a piece where we were really positive about Ayub and Rocky, but fair play to him, because, I think what we didn't do is we didn't sort of speculate, and we didn't go over the top, and we didn't draw conclusions that weren't there to be drawn. And I suppose he appreciated that. My feeling around the case has always been that I don't know if you'll get all the answers, but answers that are there to be got would probably lie with Brandon and Lucy rather than with Rocky and Ayub. And yeah, that's it. So we're awaiting further details from the inquest. One thing that the inquest has shown me and I kind of already knew this, but Mark Williams-Thomas, he's a bit of a blagger, isn't he?
What's he done? What's he done? Why is he blagging?
I've looked at very conflicting statements from him that are made on camera within a fortnight of each other.
Okay, when were they said, those statements?
Within a fortnight of each other. One being the most recent being within the last 72 odd hours, something like that.
Okay, go on then. What's he said?
Well, I mean, I could have done with having a bit of prep on this because I can't really remember it off the top of my head. But
Okay.
there's just certain things that he says he's not privy to and he doesn't have the information of, and then certain things unless he got it in the space of that couple of days, certain things that he then changes his tune on. So, yeah.
I think he's always kind of been like that though. As he gets information, he presents it. I do think, Jerry, we need to cover this. I think we're going to have to do a video on it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for more to come to light.
Yeah.
Or potentially for something to come to light that somewhat changes my opinion, my perception, or at least adds layers to it. And at the moment, from what I've looked into of the inquest, there's not all that much. Obviously, they're saying that the fall is the head trauma is consistent with a fall. Yeah.
Consistent doesn't necessarily mean because of, though, does it?
It doesn't necessarily mean because of, and it also doesn't account for, like, let's say, for example, have you checked for asphyxiation before you've looked at the head trauma? Have you checked for suffocation before you've looked at the head trauma? Yeah, all right. Fella might not have his throat slit, but there's more than one way to skin a cat, isn't there?
Do you not think the cocktail of substances in his body, though, tells you more than anything about him? As in, not about him as a person, but as in could be a direct result of cause of death.
No.
Do you not think?
No.
He had a lot of stuff in his system. A lot of stuff.
I mean, mate, before the news of the autopsy ever came out, you said to me he had 3 drugs in his system, and I went, bomb. Yeah. That's on video. Yeah?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I nailed them 3 drugs straight away. I knew exactly what they would be. Yeah?
As a cocktail isn't that dangerous though? Like, could that not be fatal as a group of drugs? It could be.
So I'm just trying to think how I can say it on here. It's disco biscuits or a form, crushed disco biscuits, marching powder, and what was the other one? Oh, horse tranquilizer. Yeah. Which is exactly
less subtle on that one, Joey.
Yeah, which is exactly what I said it would be, though, didn't I?
Yeah. You did. No, I know you did.
I said it would be them 3 things. I said it would be them 3 things. Do you know what I think the main one is that can lead to, like, say for example though, if he'd had a heart attack off him, you'd know, and normally from like overdose type thing, it will normally be a heart attack how it plays out, and you know what the worst one for that is. It's obviously mixed. It's obviously when you mix it. But the worst one for that is actually what people take to get the old boy stand into attention.
Really? That's the one you need to be worried about?
Yeah.
Really? I don't think any of that was found in his system, to be fair.
No, it wouldn't have been. But I'm just saying I know a lot of people that take marching powder and then they go home and want to do what with the missus, and they take that, and I know loads of people that have been hospitalized. I know people that have died through that. I mean, there's even famous cases. Who was the cricketer that died in Thailand?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but I know the case.
Botham or whatever.
Ian Botham. I don't think that was him, was it?
Who was it? Don't you remember there was a cricketer or something that died in Thailand?
I don't know if it was Botham.
It was some cricketer, and that one was a cocktail of, and
yeah.
So there you go.
I have a few friends that have been to hospital because of that. Actually,
it's good, mate.
I've seen a few pictures, Jerry, on the lads group chat that I wish I'd never seen, and I'll leave it at that.
How many times in my life do you think I've taken it?
I think you've told me this before, and I'm going to guess 3.
Once.
Once and never again?
Once and never again, because I completely misread the room. I didn't even need to take it. I thought I was going over there for some playtime.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put in another shit performance like I had on the first one. It was when I took the V plates off.
Yeah. That was a big error, Jerry. Like, what's wrong with you? That's a very Simon thing to do, that is.
I was 15 years old. I was scared.
It's very Simon.
I might have been younger than 15. But either way, no, it's 15, I think. Either way, I couldn't get it up. And I managed to get it up in the end. But then the girl invited me over the next night. And I'm like, oh, my God, I'm not going fucking sleepy cock over there again. So I thought,
are we allowed to say sleepy cock on TikTok?
Just
By the way, the cricketer was Shane Warne.
Shane Warne, there you go.
That was a gutting one. He was a top lad.
Yeah. But yeah, so I took it second time, went over there, and we ended up watching Bend It Like Beckham, and yeah, there was no.
I was going to say a euphemism.
There's no bending it. But...
Is that a good film? Bend It Like Beckham.
Yeah.
Is that a date film? Is that is it a date film? Is that like a Netflix and chill film? Not really.
I mean, I've shagged a weirder.
Don't tell us.
I was a Titanic man in my day.
Tell us, of course you were. That is the cheesiest one. I'm surprised it wasn't The Notebook.
Mate, I'm balls deep before they even go down to the wreckage. I swear to God.
How do we even come back from this? Joey? I don't even know how you transitioned from that.
What is everyone's favourite romantic movie?
Well said.
I would like to know that in the comment section below.
There was a comment recently, Joey, on one of our videos, and they said words to the effect of, I can't fucking watch these videos anymore because this geezer can't pronounce words correctly. And it was on both of us because I couldn't pronounce Mareed. Is that how we're saying her name? Mareed? Mairead Philpott. There you go. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, my advice would be don't fucking watch it then.
By the way,
the program, change the channel.
By the way, we have got my friend Jake in the chat, Joey. Do you want to say hello to Jake?
Jake, what's happening?
Yeah, he's a big fan. He's a constant commentator on the channel, actually.
Oh, I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, he is. That.
The way you did Jake was awful, to be honest, mate.
Oh, fuck off. Like that. Jake is having a lot happier time right now in his own flat, living his own wonderful life. Yeah, he has. Yeah, I bet he is.
Jake, you naughty boy.
I bet he is.
Right. Okay. So, hold on. The Devil's Dandruff and the Bluey's no good. That Bend It Like Beckham classic. Joey, you look a little bit like the football coach in Bend It Like Beckham. Don't think I do.
He looks more like Keira Knightley, to be fair.
Keira Knightley, yeah. I'm trying to think who the fittest bird in Bend It Like Beckham is.
I wouldn't say.
Jess Minder scrubbed up well towards the end.
Yeah. You have to go for that. I'm not a fan of Keira, to be honest with you. We've just got a new member to the hardcore, Dexter Paulson. Well welcome.
Thanks for joining, mate. Good to have you. Right, okay. Think Like a Man is my favourite romance film. I don't know that one.
Sounds like a YouTube series that I've watched.
Yeah. I think for me, top 5 of all time, if we're going romance, I'm going
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, surely.
Nah, shit. Failure to Launch is better than that. I am going with Titanic #1, Notebook #2.
Yeah.
Armageddon #3.
Armageddon?
Yeah. The Wedding Singer #4.
Is The Holiday in there?
Nah. Not good enough. No. Wedding Singer #4. And then what would cap it off at #5? I am going to go with Notting Hill.
Okay.
It's not understandable. Hugh Grant.
You just love Hugh Grant, don't you? Oh, we've lost him. We've lost him. 1 second, everyone. He'll be coming back in very shortly. Here we go. I've got you.
Okay. 10 Things I Hate About You. Very good film. Do you know what 10 Things I Hate About You is a modern day adaptation of?
I do, yes. Should we let the audience guess?
I think the audience might well know, but yeah, I would like the audience to guess. So 10 Things I Hate About You is as a film. I say modern day, it's like 20 years old now. I mean, half the cast are dead. But as a film, it is a modern day adaptation of a world famous book. I'll leave it at that.
Would you say play rather than book?
Yeah, play, whatever. Hugh Grant in About a Boy. Oh my God, Hugh Grant in About a Boy is absolutely ridiculous. When he comes out, I heard he sang a good song.
What is Hugh Grant's best performance in any movie?
About a Boy.
Do you know the actual answer is The Gentleman?
No, it's so About a Boy, mate. It's About a Boy. When he shouts at the mum who's just tried to do herself in, and he goes, "You daft fucking hippie."
We got some guesses. Here.
Taming of the Shrew. You're right. Taming of the Shrew.
Good old-fashioned Shakespeare. Have you ever been to the Globe Theatre?
It's in Australia, right?
No. That's the Sydney Opera House that you're thinking.
That's what I'm thinking of. I've been watching In-Betweeners all the time recently.
The Globe is on South Bank, mate. We'll go there. We'll do a little Joey and Josh day out to the Globe. And you can see 10 Things I Hate About You in its original form.
Bruh has said About a Boy is my all-time favourite. It's up there. It's up there with mine, honestly. Are you a big fan of About a Boy, Josh?
I think I watched it twice about 15 years ago.
What is Hugh Grant's imaginary son called?
I've got no idea.
Ned.
Is that a piss take or is that?
No, it's actually his name's Ned.
Oh, okay. We're just doing a quiz now, are we? We're just literally just chucking quiz questions out there.
Is Jacob having a hair transplant?
He is. He's flying home. He should be home now, actually.
I might get one.
Okay, we'll sort it out. We'll all go and get one.
Yeah. Do they do down there? Yeah.
They do. They do
it's
wherever you want.
A bit embarrassing. I'm in my 30s
They do
now.
wherever you want, mate. If you want to do the back hair, if you want to do, anywhere
I've held out till 30 because when someone said around 13, I thought they might have said around 30, but now I'm like 31 and they still ain't come. So now I'm thinking.
You do need to stop with the Veep, mate. It's not good for you. It's not good
That's
for you.
Between, isn't it?
Did you ever use any Veep back in your heyday? Was that a thing?
I mean, when Gaz done it on Geordie Shore, I might have done the old credit card job and took a little bit off. But I ain't really got much body hair anyway. Like I've just about got armpit hair, got a little bit of chest there.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Proud of you.
Prime to perfection.
Yeah.
No. And do you know what I noticed when I boxed that fella the other day?
Yeah.
This makes it sound so weird. I was looking at him in the face off, like in the weigh-in. Yeah, we both got our tops off, and I'm looking at him, and I sort of looked down at his chest, and I thought, you ain't got much chest there, have you? But he might have thought the same about me.
He's judging you. He's judging you on your testosterone levels and the fact that you can't actually produce chest hair. That's what he's worried about.
There you go. GDem, hi, new viewer here. Even though it's not true crime, but is still murder, would you be willing to cover the Hillsborough case and Anne Williams? Anne Williams, I don't know who it is. The Hillsborough case is definitely true crime. We'll be covering. I mean, Hillsborough's not on the to-do list, but that's not to rule out that we'd cover it in a video at some point. But there are incidents, not similar, but incidents that we would cover that aren't necessarily. When we say true crime, I think a lot of people think that true crime means someone getting chopped up and dismembered and whatever. It's not always the case. Like, we've got a true crime video on the channel already about the man who went on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and faked his way or cheated his way to a £1 million prize. We've also got the Sabina or Ericsson twins. That is very much true crime.
Very much true crime. We need to do a few more of those sort of like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire sort of.
I've already got the next one for that.
Oh, are you going to give any spoilers away now? Or are we going
you know about this one, and it involves 9/11.
Okay.
People who may or may not have been there.
Yes. I do.
That's
know
a
about this
great story, and I don't want to give too many. I don't want to give too many spoilers on that one. We've got Luke James Blackwell, who is a member. As a Liverpool fan, I'd be interested in you covering Hillsborough. Think you do it justice in the
way you cover
justice
things.
with the way you cover.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. That's always an important thing to us, like to feel like we have done things justice and whatnot, because the scenario I always try and describe for you guys and the way things always play out is like, I understand, right? People from the outside looking in, if it's people that aren't in the industry and don't do YouTube and stuff like this, they immediately think like, this is your job, you should be ultra professional and whatever. And it's like, it's a job. It's not our job. It's a job. It's one of tens of things that we do, like revenue streams and whatever. And ultimately, we work so hard to get in a position to do this job so that we are able to express ourselves, to be ourselves, to do what comes naturally and authentic to us. And a consequence of that is that when you stick me and Josh in the same room together, we can't fucking help but have a bit of a laugh sometimes and bounce off each other sometimes about certain things. Now, we're also, in my opinion, very good at gauging it and understanding where there's a line that needs to be drawn and whatnot. But, sometimes we'll be talking about, I don't know, maybe let's say, for example, a murderer's excuse or their alibi, and we'll be ripping it to pieces, basically. And in doing so, sometimes we might crack a little joke here and there, and it's never something that is meant as, to be offensive towards the victims or the people that are involved or whatever. It's more something to signify how stupid some of these murderers are, some of these attackers and offenders are with their claims. But it's important for us that when we do these things, the audience understand us and understand, like, we're not trying to make light of an awful situation. Do you know what I mean? This is just the dynamic we have. So when we get messages like that saying, we've done it justice and they like the dynamic between the two of us, I think that's something that not only appeases me, but something that I'm really, really happy with.
And I think also you can learn from it as well. Like, I think in certain videos we might have come at it where we've I don't know, had a bit too much fun, and maybe we should have just got into the point of the story. But ultimately, mate, we're just going to cover the cases in the way that we want to cover them, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? We're always going to be ourselves. I think the key thing that I never want to lose is the fact that we're just going to act in the way that we would always act and chat in the way that we always would have a conversation with each other. And I hope that we can do that. The hard thing that I find is when we're having to talk about, really tough subjects, and we do sometimes just want to, have a bit of a laugh between each other. So this is why we will have to do other videos that are outside of, murderers and disappearances and shocking crimes like that. We'll have to do a few other ones. And that we'll do that on the channel for sure.
Also, remember, for the members as well, like, I think it was a member question, that one, but for the members as well, what we're about to do now is we're about to go into the members live stream. And this is the beauty of it, because there will be cases, say for example, that we won't be covering in the short term anyway. And I mean, for some of you guys, depending on how you count time, the long term, because it could be 3-4 months before we get around to some of these things. But every single week, at least once a week, we're doing a members live stream. We're about to go into it now. We'll be live in there till 7 p.m. and you will obviously be part of a smaller group of people in there, and that means that we're going to be able to get to your questions in the chat. So if you want to pick our brains on any subject that we haven't covered, or subject that you don't think that we are covering, the members live streams are always a great place to be able to do that. But as I will say, sorry, hiccups. As I will say, our past, I'd say 6 videos, 4 of them have been member recommendations that we've got on to cover in. So they will come as and when. In this stream we're about to go into, we are going to reveal to you guys the next video that will be coming out after the video we've already spoke about today. So the video we spoke about today is obviously the Channel 4 and Sun newspaper expose on the newfound evidence that links Christian Bruckner to the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. That is live right now for members. It will be live for the general public tomorrow. And in the member stream that we're about to head into now, we are going to reveal the next subject or the next case that we are covering. So Jessie JJ has joined just in time as a member because she is going to get this in the members live stream. She's going to learn about what videos are coming. And obviously, anyone that's got any questions for us, get in there. The last thing I'll say before we go into the members live stream, for anyone who's in here right now, they might see on a lot of the podcasts we're wearing, because of the lighting, you can't see it too well now, but we've been wearing a lot of the Nyla apparel stuff. That's actually linked in the description on this video. So you can head onto their website, have a look at their t-shirts, things like that. They've got some really, really good stuff that I've been banging out religiously.
Yeah, 100%. There's a link in that live chat right now that you can click for Nyla Apparel. And as we say, if you do want to join the memberships right now and get access to this live stream and the new video, it's very, very easy. There's a link in the description. You just go and click that, and then you will be able to join that live stream straight away. It's £5. Very, very easy to sign up. And like we say, it's not just the live streams, it's access to videos early and lots of bonus content. We're going to try and do one video a month that will go out just for members. We've done one recently, which is a Q&A. So if you join today, you'll get access to that video. You'll never seen it before. And that was a banger of a video that we shot just before Joey went off for his fight. So a little bit of a moment in time, actually, that one. But yeah, we're going to end the stream here for everyone. Thank you to everyone that has watched on YouTube and TikTok. If you aren't yet subscribed, this is a great time to do so. And we will see all of the members very, very shortly. And we will be back next week for everyone to do another live stream, or potentially the week after. It depends on the timings, but we will do one very soon. So yeah,